In the village of Nyaro, nestled amidst the golden sands of the African desert, a hushed sense of desperation hung heavy in the air. The once lush fields lay barren, the wells ran dry, and the people whispered tales of famine and despair. But amidst the gloom, a glimmer of hope emerged in the form of an elder named Malik. Malik was a man of great wisdom, his weathered face etched with the lines of countless years spent beneath the scorching sun. His voice, though soft, carried the weight of generations past, and his eyes held the knowledge of a lifetime lived in harmony with the land. And so, when Malik spoke, the people of Nyaro listened, their hearts heavy with longing for salvation. Gathering the weary villagers beneath the shade of a solitary acacia tree, Malik began to weave a tale as old as time itself. He spoke of a mythical oasis hidden deep within the heart of the desert, its waters pure and plentiful, its trees heavy with fruits. But finding the oasis would require courage and determination beyond measure. As Malik's words washed over them like a cool breeze on a sweltering day, the people of Nyaro felt a spark of hope ignite within their hearts. For in the midst of their darkest hour, they dared to believe that salvation was within their grasp, if only they had the courage to seek it. And so, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the stars began to twinkle overhead, the people of Nyaro returned to their homes with a newfound sense of purpose. For though the journey ahead would be perilous, they knew that they were not alone, guided by the wisdom of Malik and the promise of the oasis that awaited them. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, the legend of the Oasis of Hope grew, spreading like wildfire through the parched lands of the African desert. And at the heart of it all was Malik, the wise elder whose words had sparked a flame of hope in the hearts of his people. Gathering the villagers beneath the shade of the acacia tree once more, Malik began to recount the tale of the Oasis of Hope, a story as old as time itself. He spoke of a time when the land was lush and fertile, when the rivers flowed freely and the fields were bountiful with crops. But then, a great drought swept across the land, leaving devastation in its wake. The crops withered, the wells ran dry, and the people of Nyaro found themselves on the brink of starvation. It was in their darkest hour that the legend of the Oasis of Hope first emerged, a beacon of light amidst the darkness of their despair. As Malik spoke, his voice filled with the weight of centuries of tradition and wisdom. The people listened intently, their hearts hanging on his every word. For in his tale, they found not only hope for a better tomorrow, but also a sense of connection to their ancestors who had faced similar trials and tribulations. And as the sun began to set and the stars twinkled overhead, Malik concluded his tale, leaving the villagers with a sense of awe and wonder that lingered long into the night. For in his words, they had found the courage to face the challenges that lay ahead, united in their quest for the Oasis of Hope. Among the villagers of Nyaro, there lived a young man named Kofi, whose heart burned with a fierce determination to save his people. From a young age, Kofi had shown a remarkable sense of courage and resilience, traits that had earned him the respect and admiration of his peers. Inspired by Malik's tale of the Oasis of Hope, Kofi knew that he was destined for greatness, for he alone possessed the courage and determination to embark on a perilous journey into the heart of the desert in search of the mythical oasis that could save his people from starvation. With the blessings of his elders and the prayers of his kin, Kofi set out into the unforgiving desert, his footsteps guided by the echoes of Malik's wisdom. The sun beat down mercilessly upon him as he ventured deeper into the wilderness, his thirst growing with each passing day. But Kofi was undeterred, his spirit unbroken despite the hardships that beset him. For he knew that he carried with him the hopes and dreams of his people, and he vowed to do whatever it took to bring them the salvation they so desperately sought. And so, as he journeyed deeper into the heart of the desert, Kofi's resolve only grew stronger, fueled by the knowledge that he alone held the key to his people's survival. For he was not just a young man on a quest for adventure, but a hero in the making, destined to rise above the challenges that lay ahead and emerge victorious in the end. With each step he took, Kofi felt the weight of responsibility pressing down upon him like the scorching sun overhead. The desert stretched endlessly before him, its vastness both awe-inspiring and terrifying. But he refused to falter, his determination unwavering despite the challenges that lay ahead. The blistering heat threatened to sap his strength, while the shifting sands beneath his feet made each step a battle against the elements. Yet he pressed on, his spirit unbroken despite the hardships that beset him. And as the hours turned into days, Kofi began to feel a sense of kinship with the desert itself, its beauty and brutality intertwined in a delicate dance that spoke to the resilience of the human spirit. For he knew that he was not just a traveler passing through, but a part of something greater than himself, bound by fate to seek out the oasis of hope and bring it back to his people. And so, with each passing day, Kofi's determination only grew stronger, fueled by the knowledge that he was not alone in his quest. For though the desert may have seemed vast and unforgiving, he knew that somewhere out there, the oasis of hope awaited, its waters pure and plentiful, its trees heavy with fruits. And with that thought to guide him, Kofi pressed on, his heart filled with hope and his eyes set on the horizon, where the promise of a better tomorrow awaited him and his people. For he knew that no matter what trials lay ahead, he would face them with courage and determination. For he was Kofi, the hero of Nyaro, and his journey had only just begun. As Kofi journeyed deeper into the heart of the desert, he faced a series of trials and tribulations that tested his courage and determination to the limit. The blistering heat beat down upon him mercilessly, threatening to sap his strength with each passing day. But Kofi refused to falter, his spirit unbroken despite the hardships that beset him, for he knew that he carried with him the hopes and dreams of his people, and he would not rest until he had brought them the salvation they so desperately sought. And so, with each step he took, Kofi drew upon the reserves of strength and resilience that lay within him, pushing himself ever forward in pursuit of his goal. For though the desert may have seemed vast and unforgiving, he knew that somewhere out there the oasis of hope awaited, its waters pure and plentiful, its trees heavy with fruits. And so, with hope burning bright in his heart, Kofi pressed on, his eyes set on the horizon where the promise of a better tomorrow awaited him and his people. For he knew that no matter what trials lay ahead, he would face them with courage and determination. For he was Kofi, the hero of Nyaro, and his journey had only just begun. Hours turned into days and days into weeks, and still Kofi journeyed deeper into the heart of the desert, his spirit undeterred by the challenges that lay ahead. And then, just when all hope seemed lost, he beheld a sight that took his breath away. A shimmering pool of water, its surface glistening like a mirage in the desert haze. With tears of joy streaming down his cheeks, Kofi stumbled forward, collapsing beside the oasis in sheer exhaustion and relief. He drank deeply from its cool waters, feeling the strength flow back into his weary limbs. And as he gazed upon the lush vegetation that surrounded him, he knew that he had found the oasis of hope. But Kofi's journey was far from over, for the true test lay in returning to his village and leading his people to salvation. With renewed vigor, he filled his water skins and gathered fruits from the bountiful trees, preparing for the long trek home. And as he set out once more across the desert sands, he carried with him not only the gifts of the oasis, but also the knowledge that hope could overcome even the greatest of trials. For he was Kofi, the hero of Nyaro, and his journey had only just begun. As Kofi journeyed homeward, his heart was light with the knowledge that he had found the oasis of hope and that salvation was within his grasp. The sun beat down upon him, but he paid it no mind, for he knew that he carried with him the promise of a better tomorrow for his people. And as he finally caught sight of the familiar landmarks that marked the outskirts of his village, Kofi's heart swelled with pride and gratitude. For though the journey had been long and difficult, he knew that it had been worth it, for he had brought hope back to his people and saved them from the brink of despair. And so, with a renewed sense of purpose and determination, Kofi entered the village, his eyes shining with the knowledge that together they would rebuild and thrive once more, guided by the courage and resilience of one brave hero who had dared to believe in the impossible. He was greeted with cries of joy and disbelief, for in his hands he bore the fruits of the oasis, a testament to his bravery and the power of belief. With Kofi's guidance, the people of the village made the arduous journey to the oasis of hope, their spirits lifted by the promise of a new beginning. And as they drank from its life-giving waters and feasted upon its abundant harvest, they knew that they had been blessed by the courage of one brave soul who had dared to believe in the impossible. And so, as the sun set on the horizon and the stars twinkled overhead, the people of Nyaro stood united beneath a big tree, their hearts filled with gratitude and hope. For though the journey had been long and arduous, they knew that they had emerged stronger and more resilient than ever before, guided by the wisdom of their elders and the courage of their hero, Kofi. With the oasis of hope at their disposal, the people of Nyaro set about rebuilding their village and their lives. The fields were once again lush and fertile, the wells flowed freely, and the animals thrived beneath the watchful gaze of their caretakers. But amidst the busyness of rebuilding, Kofi found himself drawn to the oasis, its tranquil waters calling out to him like a siren's song. And so, as the days turned into weeks, he would steal away to its banks, finding solace and renewal in its cool embrace. And as he sat beneath the shade of the palm trees, his thoughts turned to the journey that had brought him here and the trials that lay ahead. For though the immediate threat of famine had been averted, he knew that there were still challenges to be faced, and that his people would need his guidance and leadership now more than ever. But for now, in this moment of peace and tranquility, Kofi allowed himself to rest, his heart light with the knowledge that he had brought hope back to his people, and that together they would face whatever challenges lay ahead, united in their quest for a better tomorrow. As the days turned into weeks, the weeks into months, and the months into years, the legend of the oasis of hope lived on in the hearts of the people of Nyaro. And amidst the bounty of the oasis, they found strength and resilience, learning to cherish the gift of hope in even the darkest of times. And as they worked together to rebuild their village and their lives, they remembered the lessons they had learned on their journeys to the new name. The importance of courage in the face of adversity, the power of belief in the impossible, and the strength that comes from unity and community. And as they looked to the future with hope and optimism, they knew that no matter what trials lay ahead, they would face them together, guided by the wisdom of their elders and the courage of their hero Kofi, for they were the people of Nyaro, and their spirit would endure, a beacon of hope in the darkness, shining brightly for all eternity.